We'll go to wastewater, and we will start with Hank. Regardless of what the solution is for the infrastructure to deal with wastewater, someone's going to have to pay for it. And I was wondering if you had any thoughts on what an equitable funding formula or how to equitably distribute the cost of all of that, if you had any thoughts on that.
I'd hire you to come help us figure that out.
That would be a mistake.
And that's the way it is with me too, David, because you know what? Out in our precinct, the substantial majority of the homes and businesses out there are on wells and septic systems. And when we had the issue going on with Stewart's Creek, at one of the Civic Association meetings, I had a discussion with the folks there about what we were doing at Stewart's Creek, why, and what would happen ultimately if, let's focus on West Barnstable, if the rest of the town ultimately over the next 25 years became sewered through phasing, what would happen to West Barnstable? We would be last on the list to become sewered, and would there be the willingness to pay for that sewering? And I think most of the people out there feel that we're at the end of the line, that's not going to happen, and so they're all reluctant to go ahead with sewering until a clear-cut townwide plan specifically addressing how that phasing would work throughout the entire community and obligating everybody to make sure that every phase was completed. That's the only way you're going to be able to get this done. And I'm not smart enough to figure out what the answer is because technology keeps changing, financing options keep changing. I asked that the Stewart's Creek funding be brought back after it was declined initially because we discovered after that we were able to get the bailout money from the federal government to help underwrite a substantial portion of the cost of that. I think it was $2 million. And as a result of that, the folks that are in the Stewart's Creek area now, their cost to hook up is about $8,000, whereas you try and do a sophisticated Title V system today, and it's a heck of a lot more money than that. So those folks really came out ahead of the game.
June, equitable wastewater funding.
Well, we need a regional approach for sure. Sewers knows no boundaries. Funding is needed from the state and federal government. Town and residents cannot do it alone. I support the citizens on our Citizen Advisory Committee, and I look forward to working with them. Thank you.
This is related, and this is from the West Barnstable Civic Association. As a follow-up, what are your thoughts on water and sewer in West Barnstable? Hank touched on it, but where it is predominantly without public water and predominantly without any sewering, can you elaborate on perhaps that goes back to the equity issue for West Barnstable and funding of a larger wastewater program for a community that does not have any infrastructure right now. And we'll start with June. And I apologize for the phrasing of the question, which was challenged.
To say the least, I'm not quite sure what you're asking, except, I don't know, do you want to try again?
As a community without any infrastructure for public water supply or for sewers, West Barnstable is probably the least equipped to see any benefits from a larger wastewater program. And I was wondering if you had any thoughts related to anything within that general field. How's that?
Well, I do believe the betterment process has worked in the past. I know people are a little standoffish about it, but certainly it does work. It works. You know, people don't like having betterments attached, but I think it works okay. Certainly for it would work for the water. I think the sewer is too big a picture, and that we need to look at it regionally.
Thank you, and thank you for working with me through that.
Thank you.
Hank, your turn.
Well, as I tried to indicate earlier, I believe West Barnstable is at the end of the rainbow when it comes to the sewering, and so that's until we come up with some sort of a comprehensive townwide plan that is encompassing every aspect of sewering the town, whether it's 5 years or 55 years down the road. I don't know what to tell you. West Barnstable is really reluctant to proceed with funding, knowing that they may not get any funding themselves. As far as the municipal water side of things, was that the other part of it?
Yes.
I've asked that question in concert with a presentation with Chief Maruka, Chief of the West Barnstable Fire Department, in terms of a safety-related issue to try and get more municipal water around. As June mentioned earlier, West Barnstable is a large geographical area and a lot of roads that are kind of remote with limited residents on them. And so my goal and the chief's goal was to see if we could get interest from the residents in terms of fire protection, not just from the drinking water quality. And the substantial majority of the folks out there involved said, no, we don't want municipal water. And to be honest with you, I think the main reason for that has to do with potential for more development that would occur in West Barnstable that can't occur right now. So I don't see municipal water on the horizon unless it's kind of jammed down the people's throat.
Do you have any follow-on?
No, I think we agree there. Thank you.